As a general rule, many of us struggle to articulate our strengths or the ways that we uniquely bring value to our research roles. But it's actually quite rare. In fact, no, I don't think it has ever happened that when I have met with a new or prospective client, that she says to me, "Now, Lara, the thing I would love you to help me work on is building up and leveraging my strengths as a way to grow in my career." It's just not done because it's not where our minds naturally go to. But it is important, and that is why I'm talking to you about it today, because playing to your strengths is a much, much more enjoyable, sustainable, and fun way to work towards your goals. In fact, people who focus on their strengths are happier, less stressed, more confident, have more energy, and are actually more likely to reach their goals. So if you are aspiring to one day head up an insights function within a client-side organization, or to be CEO or MD of an agency, and you know that you want to enjoy rising in your research career and setting an inspiring example to your teams and other women around you, then this will be a great video for you. If we haven't met before, I'm Lara Meyer, coach for women who want to rise even further in their research careers with less stress and greater enjoyment. And to be clear, while I am talking today about strengths, I'm not saying don't ever work on improvement areas. Of course they need attention too, but I genuinely believe we spend too much time trying to overcompensate on things that we're simply not destined to be that great at, and our time would be better spent further enhancing our natural gifts and talents. So, for example, this is what a client answered on their welcome questionnaire as we started working together. Strengths, they said, very empathetic and strategic thinker. Weaknesses, struggle with change and uncertainty, get worried when dealing with very senior people, don't speak up enough for myself, and poor negotiating skills. What did you notice? Well, for a start, there were twice as many weaknesses as strengths. And the weaknesses were described in more detail, so you could really feel them and imagine those situations, while the strengths were broad and general. So it doesn't really paint a picture of how brilliant this woman truly is. Now, I'm not suggesting that everyone presents their strengths and weaknesses in this way, but I'm using this example to highlight to you so you can see how this sort of focus on weaknesses rather than strengths can actually make it feel harder to succeed towards your goals rather than easier. And as researchers, I know this actually sounds even more counterintuitive. If you were talking to a client about their customer satisfaction results and they had 2 areas where they were already performing well and 4 areas where they were weak, you'd obviously advise them to identify the weaknesses that were going to be easiest logistically to improve to enhance their customers' experience. But here's the thing. We are humans, not customer satisfaction scores and internal company processes. There is an element to our work and life that we simply need to enjoy and feel good about if we are going to sustain working in the long haul. And so that's why, even though no client comes to me with this as their focus, we always end up bringing it into their personal growth work at some point along the way. And that's why I wanted to make this video about it and start talking to you about it today. So if you want to identify your strengths, think about any activities or things you do at work that makes you feel strong and successful. It could be things that you feel particularly drawn to, or find yourself feeling more energized afterwards. And if you're still struggling to think of any, then I challenge you to go and ask a few colleagues, what do they think your strengths are? And look at the common themes that come up and reflect on what they see in you. Once you've got your list as a starting point, you can begin with being much more intentional about spending more time on work that allows you to use those strengths. And if you manage a team, I really recommend getting them to do the very same exercise and figuring out what their strengths are. The beauty of this is that it becomes so much easier to delegate things that are not strengths for you when you know for sure that it is a strength for someone on your team. And if your goal is to feel more happy, more energized, so that you can really rise in your research career, then succeeding through your strengths is an approach to seriously consider and start thinking about how and where you can play more to your strengths. Join me for one of my free virtual events where I talk about this along with some other pillars of rising as a woman in research. It's a 1-hour online session that happens every month using the link below. Or if you've got any questions, feel free to drop me an email or DM on LinkedIn or Instagram, wherever's easiest for you, and we can arrange a time to chat. Thanks for watching.